10 worst assets that keep you poor. Avoid these. Most people are stuck with the wrong assets. Things they think are building wealth but are actually draining it. Real estate that doesn't cash flow, cars that lose value faster than they can be paid off, or that safe 401k. These assets aren't working for you, they're working against you. Are you sure the stuff you're holding on to is actually helping you build the wealth you want, or is it keeping you stuck in the same financial place? Number 1. Liabilities disguised as appreciating assets. Here's the first misstep: treating liabilities like they're appreciating assets. We've all been told that owning a home or a car is an investment. It's not. Most of the time, these are liabilities in disguise. Real estate only appreciates in value if it's generating income or positioned in a hot market. But most people buy homes they can't rent out, and they end up pouring money into them just to maintain the mortgage, taxes, and repairs. And don't even get me started on cars. The second you drive that new car off the lot, it's lost value. Yet people continue to see them as an asset. The wealthy don't fall for this. They focus on investments that generate income, whether it's real estate that cash flows, businesses that generate profits, or investments that compound over time. The payoff? You stop holding on to sinking assets and start stacking wealth with things that work for you. Number 2. Assets that consume your cash flow. Next up, assets that drain your cash flow instead of boosting it. A vacation home that you barely use, a luxury car that costs more than your monthly rent. These assets are really just money pits. They require ongoing expenses, maintenance, insurance, property taxes that don't generate a single dollar back. People get so caught up in the idea of owning high-value items they forget that real assets should make money, not disappear into an endless void of expenses. The wealthy don't tie up their cash in things like this. They invest in income-generating assets, properties that rent out, businesses that produce, and stocks that pay dividends. The payoff? Your assets should be fueling your cash flow, not draining it. By cutting out the ones that consume your money, you'll unlock the freedom to reinvest into things that grow your wealth. Number 3. Investments requiring your direct time. Now, let's talk about investments that demand your time. People often confuse having a side hustle or running a small business with making smart investments. But if your investment requires you to clock in every day, it's not really an asset. It's just another job. Take Airbnb properties or self-managed businesses. They can generate income, sure, but they also require your constant attention, cleaning, marketing, managing customer service, often leaving you with little freedom. The wealthy understand that time is their most valuable asset. Instead of sinking hours into managing every detail, they build systems or invest in businesses that run without constant oversight. Real wealth-building investments don't demand your direct involvement. The payoff? More passive income, less time spent working, and the ability to scale your wealth without burning yourself out. Cut out these time-sucking investments and focus on assets that work for you, not the other way around. Number 4. Depreciating toys, financed with debt. Let's get into one of the biggest traps, financing depreciating toys with debt. A brand new car, a luxury yacht, or the latest sports car might feel like a reward for hard work, but they're not assets, they're liabilities, and they're eating your wealth. The moment you drive off the lot, that car starts losing value. And when you finance these toys, you're paying interest on something that's only going down in worth. The wealthy don't buy these types of toys with debt. They use debt strategically to acquire income-producing assets, like real estate or businesses that appreciate in value. The payoff? You stop paying for things that lose value and start leveraging debt to acquire things that build your wealth. Every dollar you save by avoiding these depreciating liabilities can be put to work in assets that will grow rather than shrink your net worth. Number 5. Over-diversified, underperforming index funds. Next, let's talk about over-diversification in your investments. Many people spread their money across a wide array of index funds, thinking they're mitigating risk, but in reality, over-diversifying dilutes your returns. When you have too many investments, many of which are mediocre, you end up with a portfolio that performs like a low-average investment. It's safe, but it's not working hard enough for you. The wealthy know how to focus their investments. They strategically allocate capital into a smaller, more targeted group of high-conviction assets, whether that's specific sectors, growth companies, or real estate. They don't spread themselves thin across hundreds of funds, hoping something sticks. The payoff? Concentrated investments with higher return potential. This allows them to capitalize on opportunities with far more leverage than those who are blindly diversified. Cut the fat and focus on what truly delivers growth. Number 6. Your primary residence as a wealth tool. Let's address one of the most common misconceptions. Thinking your primary residence is a wealth-building tool. Yes, it's a place to live, but it's not necessarily an asset that will grow your wealth. A home tied up in mortgage payments, property taxes and maintenance doesn't generate income unless you're renting it out or flipping it for profit. The wealthy know that your primary residence should never be treated as an investment. They keep their homes as a place to live, but their real wealth is built in income-generating assets, like rental properties, businesses, or investments that compound. They know a home's role is not to create wealth, but to provide stability. The payoff? When you shift your focus away from the idea of your home as an investment, you free up capital for assets that actually grow your wealth. Number 7. Educational debt with no ROI focus. Now let's talk about educational debt. Too many people take on massive student loans without considering whether their degree will actually lead to a solid return on investment. Sure, education is valuable, but if it doesn't directly contribute to a higher income or business success, it's a liability, not an asset. The wealthy approach education strategically. They invest in skills and knowledge that directly enhance their earning potential. Whether it's an MBA that accelerates their career, specialized technical training, or investing in high-demand entrepreneurial knowledge. They understand that ROI matters, and they don't let debt pile up for degrees that won't yield returns. The payoff? You're not burdened with unnecessary debt, and your education works for you. Every dollar spent on learning that enhances your wealth-building strategy compounds into real opportunities, whether in business or career. Invest in the right education, and your ROI will pay off exponentially. Number 8. High-fee investment products, eroding returns. Let's talk about high-fee investment products. Many people fall for actively managed funds or financial advisors with sky-high fees, believing they'll outperform the market. The reality is those fees erode your returns over time. Even small fees, when compounded over decades, can significantly reduce the wealth you accumulate. The wealthy avoid high-fee products. Instead, they focus on low-cost, passive investments, index funds, ETFs, or direct investments that don't have hidden costs. They understand that the less you pay in fees, the more you keep. By minimizing fees, you capture the full potential of your investments. The payoff? Over the long term, even a small reduction in fees can result in massive savings. When you cut out the high-fee products, you maximize the compounding effect of your investments, growing your wealth faster with the same capital. It's not about beating the market, it's about keeping more of what you earn. Number 9. Illiquid assets in a dynamic market. Now let's discuss illiquid assets. Too many people tie up their capital in things they can't easily sell or convert into cash, like certain types of real estate, private equity, or niche investments. In a dynamic market, this is a problem. When opportunities arise or you need to pivot, you can't access your money quickly. The wealthy know the value of liquidity. They maintain a balance between assets that are productive and those that can be easily liquidated when needed. Real estate can be great, but they focus on properties that are in high-demand markets, or they hold cash or highly liquid assets that allow them to move quickly when necessary. The payoff? Liquidity provides flexibility. In a fast-moving market, being able to act quickly, whether to invest in a new opportunity or protect against a downturn, can make or break your wealth. Flexibility is power, and liquidity gives you that power. Number 10. A single, undefended income stream. Finally, let's talk about relying on a single income stream. Whether it's your job, your business, or a side hustle, putting all your financial eggs in one basket is risky. If something happens to that income, an economic downturn, a job loss, or a business setback, you're left exposed. The wealthy understand the importance of multiple income streams. They build diverse sources of revenue, income from real estate, businesses, investments, and even side projects. They don't depend solely on one source. By diversifying, they ensure that if one stream dries up, others are still flowing. The payoff? More security, more opportunities, and less stress. With multiple defended income streams, you can weather any storm without disrupting your financial momentum. And with the added freedom, you can invest in even more scalable opportunities that keep your wealth growing, no matter what happens to your primary income. Bonus point. Immediately audit one cash flow draining asset. Here's a bonus point for you. Right after this video, audit one asset in your life that's draining your cash flow. This could be anything. A car that costs more in maintenance than it's worth, a property that's sitting empty, or even that overpriced subscription you're not using. Identify one cash-draining asset and then make a decision. Is it time to sell it, let it go, or restructure it into something that works for you? The wealthy don't accumulate liabilities, they eliminate them. By making a simple decision to remove one asset that's eating away at your money, you can redirect that capital into something far more profitable. This quick audit is all about gaining control of your financial future, one decision at a time. You're not just making a financial move, you're reshaping your financial mindset to think strategically about where your money is really going. If you're ready to stop holding on to assets that keep you poor and start building real wealth, drop the word asset builder in the comments below. Let us know what action you're taking to audit your own portfolio and replace liabilities with assets that grow your wealth. This is the first step toward a smarter, more strategic approach to your financial future. Don't just watch, engage, take control, and let's build a community of high-performing individuals who are ready to make their money work harder. You're on the path to financial freedom.